Look, this is what I do in my videos. Alright, are you ready? Look at the camera. What's up guys, Sean here. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions on the Medford M48. This is actually my first time ever handling a Medford, so it'll be my first impressions on this knife specifically, and my first impressions on Medford in general. Plus I have some other cool stuff to show you guys in this video, so it's going to be really exciting. Plus, of course, I'm here with my beautiful princess, Brinley. I think I've had her on the channel before, back when I was first starting it, but it's been a little while since you guys have seen her. So she is here with me on this beautiful Sunday. This is our day to bond, and I wanted to get some videos done too, so I figured, hey, she can do it with me. So you want to say hi to the camera? Say hi, guys. No? You don't want to say hi? That's all right. And yeah, hope everybody's having a great weekend. And yeah, let's get into this. So I'm gonna bring you guys over here to the tabletop view, and we're gonna take a closer look. And shout out to Denise. I have a knife that I want to show her. That's gonna be towards the end of the video, Denise. So if you want to fast forward to that, or you can just watch through the video and you'll see it at the end. So, all right, guys, let's do it. Say bye. Bye-bye. You want to leave? You give me a kiss? Ask him out? Ask him out? Ask him out kiss? Ask him out kiss? I love it. Alright, good job. Good job. Oh yeah, guys, and one more thing. I just got 3 more knives in for sharpening, and they are, well, 2 of the 3 are knives that I haven't ever experienced before. So I'm going to do a quick first impressions video on those also. So be on the lookout for that. That should be up today as well. So back to what we were doing. All right, guys, we are back, and this is the tabletop view. Right here we have the Medford M48. Now this knife is sort of a tribute to the M48 tank, and also a tribute to General Patton. So if you are not familiar, General Patton was a very well-respected and famous World War II general. He was a 4-star general, and this knife features a lot of special little things, basically as a tribute to him. So right here we have the tracks from a M48 tank. Then flip it over to this side. If you look on the pocket clip, we have a little dog, and that is supposed to resemble General Patton's dog, Willie. So that's pretty neat. This is a pretty big knife, about 9 inches in length overall. 9.5 maybe? No, just 9. It is a flipper on bearings. Nice smooth action. Titanium frame lock. We have a over travel stop. Titanium hardware. Nice deep carry pocket clip. And it is a pretty unique design. It wraps around from back here. And I tried it out in pocket. It works excellent. Very slim profile to this. carries really well, and it's also really light because the show side scale is aluminum instead of titanium, which is fine because this thing is still very solid. We have a nice long blade with a beautiful hollow grind. We have a decently thick spine, just thick enough to give it some nice strength, but not too thick to where you're not going to be able to make use of this knife. We have a little swedge here up at the tip. So the blade profile or the blade stock is going to be thicker up here. That is for strength. You can see how the swedge kind of makes it come a little bit slimmer up here at the top of the tip. And then down here, you can see that the blade is thicker because the edge bevel size increases. So where you see the edge bevel wider, that's typically a sign that the blade is actually thicker right there. Therefore, even though this is the same angle, you're going to have a thicker bevel at the tip. So all throughout here, the blade is nice and thin behind the edge, so it should offer some really nice cutting performance. And I noticed this one has some heat anodized hardware. Looks really good on this knife. I'm not sure if that was done at Medford or if that was done by the owner of this knife, but either way, it looks really good. I like the purple and bluish and bronze color with the army green. Looks really good together. Drop shut nice. We have a pressed through a pin pressed through the blade, which acts as the blade stop for closing and also for opening. The fit and finish on this looks really nice. You have the 4 stars right here, since General Patton was a 4-star general. Nice belt satin finish. Have some nice jimping on the flipper tab. Not too aggressive, gives you just enough grip, as well as a little hole right here. I would assume that is for some weight savings maybe. Also add some style to it. I believe there's probably more of a style reason for that hole. It might have something to do with the M48. Not quite sure, but yeah, let's check out some flipping. Now this pivot is very tight. There is absolutely zero play. So you do have to shake this shut. However, it does feel pretty smooth on these bearings. You can tell that it's very well made. Nice tight tolerances, tight fitment. One thing that I'll point out that I'm not a fan of is the lock bar access. You really have to wedge your thumb in between there. Basically, you have to force the meat of your thumb down into there to push it over. But the good thing is that you don't have to push it over very far. So literally, if you put your finger on the back of the blade here and put some pressure up and you place your thumb right here, you only have to push over just the slightest amount to allow the blade to come up past it. And it has a nice early detent, so it doesn't take much to get up past it. And for the most part, you shouldn't have any double clutching going on. So this knife has a lot going for it. My first impressions of this knife specifically are positive. Now, this is in S35 VM blade steel, and this knife comes in at $500. For that price, I mean, you are getting American made, all premium materials. It's very high quality, very nicely done. I'm not sure if this is the knife that I personally would want to spend $500 on, because don't get me wrong, I have some knives that are up there. I don't buy them often, but I have to literally love just about every aspect of it in order to justify that kind of money. Now, if you have that kind of money to blow and it doesn't really affect you, then I'd say go for it. I mean, it's a very nice knife. I'm definitely interested in checking out more Medfords after handling this. It has definitely sparked my interest. Now, I've heard that a lot of Medfords do not have very good lock bar access. They are also notorious for having not so great ergonomics, which I can kind of understand. This one, the design of it, you can tell it's more EDC oriented, nice, thin, slimmer profile, so it's going to carry nice. It's nice and lightweight. Your blade is not overly thick, and you have the hollow grind to let the blade get nice and thin behind the edge, so you can get some nice cutting performance, as well as a very strong, very pointy, but also strong tip. So it should offer good piercing, good penetration, and also good strength if you did want to use this as a pry bar. I mean, I'm sure you could. I don't ever suggest using your knife as a pry bar. I'm a strong proponent of using the correct tool for the job, but you know, to each their own. And yeah, so pretty cool knife. This is going to be getting a 17-degree per side mirror polished edge, I believe. I'll have to double check, but yeah, I'm going to get this thing nice and sharp. The edge that's on it right now is actually not dull. It definitely has some bite and some sharpness left, but it's definitely not as sharp as I can get it. So it's going to be thinned out a little bit behind the edge even more, and that's going to make this thing a little bit more slicey, and it should initiate the cut and everything else better with a nice sharp edge. So excited to do that. I'll probably be working on that tonight and show you some other stuff that I'm working on while I have all this stuff out right here. This is the ZT I finished up the other day. Then right here, this is the PMP Spartan that I finished sharpening the other day, and I finally got done polishing these washers. I spent a long ass time polishing these. These actually have Gunny Glide on them already, so that's why they are wet. But yeah, these were pretty rough looking. The action on this was great when it came in, but he wanted them polished, so I put a couple hours into polishing these. So I think these should definitely be good to go. They are not perfect, but definitely a lot better. And with the Gunny Glide, they are going to be perfectly smooth. I have no doubt whatsoever. Plus I cleaned out everything, so this should be good to go for reassembly. Oh, see here. I polished both sides of both washers, but after I realized that it was taking a extremely long time, I put more emphasis on one side of each washer, since that's going to be the side that's in contact. And I am trying to determine what side that was. Okay, I believe it's this side. I'm going to get my gunny glide. One drop is all you need. Bless you. And we'll add a drop on this side. Little drop in the detent hole. There we go. Pop the scale on. Make sure the liner's lined up. Oop. Alright, I have that started. Now let's get these tightened. These are T6s. Then the back clip screw. Highly recommend these WIHA TORX drivers. Been using these forever. They are still going strong. There we go. That is now seated. A little too tight. Alright, so I'm gonna have to mess with this and get it tuned, but this is done for the most part. I should be ready to ship this out Tuesday. Very nice. Grab a piece of phone book paper. Show you that this is very sharp. Alright, there we have it. And now, this is for Denise. Denise was wondering if I had any budget knives that were within $100 that I have put my edge on, ready to go. So for $100 total shipped with my edge, the best thing that I thought of was this guy right here. This is the CIVIVI CHEVALIER 14C28M blade steel, sharpened at 15 degrees per side on the KME. This has a polished edge, more polished than semi-polished. I guess you could call it a mirror, but it's kind of in between. I wanted to keep this nice and aggressive still. So this one is also insanely sharp. Get a new piece. Insanely sharp. This is a button lock flipper on bearings. Very smooth action. Deep carry clip. You can reverse flick it with the fuller. You can also slow roll it with your thumb with the fuller. Really easy to spidey flick. Nice flipper tab. Perfectly tuned detent. You can push button it or light switch it, or you can just use the button. The thing I really like about this, with this button, you press it to initiate the closing, and then you let your thumb off of it and the blade won't bounce back out. So very fidgety, very sharp, very slicey. This one is very thin behind the edge. I did a full review on this. This is a absolute beast of a EDC knife for the price. You cannot beat it. Beautiful Stonewash blade finish. Black G10, not too aggressive. Their G10 feels very nice, I must say. And one thing I really like about this one is how they did all the hardware blacked out, as well as the button, the liners, the standoffs, the clip, everything. And then it has that nice pop with the Stonewash blade. So really nice knife. And I also love how they did the jimping right here. Not too aggressive, nice, well spaced out. That is my favorite. And this is a sheep's foot blade, which is my favorite blade shape for EDC. Extremely useful. I find I have a lot more ease cutting, doing pretty much any EDC task when the tip is down lower in relevance to the pivot compared to, say, a drop point knife or a Bowie style knife or clip point where the point is up here at the top of the spine. I find I have to turn my wrist down a lot more to initiate that cut. But when you have a sheep's foot, when your point is down here, you barely have to turn your wrist at all. I mean, you are right there ready to slice. So awesome knife. Hope you like this, Denise. She already sent me the money without even knowing what knife I had come up with. So I'm sure you probably will like this. But if you don't, just let me know and we can figure out something else. Or I can always send the money back. No, you are not locked into anything. So yeah, if you do like it, then Hope you enjoy it. I'm sure you will. And I appreciate your business and support of the channel. Much, much appreciated. So, that is that, guys. Let me get all this stuff cleaned up, and I will get ready to show you the next 3 knives that are in for sharpening, because they are some really cool ones. One in particularly. So, let's do it. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.